Hi everybody, welcome back to Missy's Imaginings. I thought I would maybe share today, I have a doll show coming up October 8th, whatever the Saturday is. My dates are really bad, but next is Saturday. And usually when I'm going to do a doll show, I don't have to do this, but I like to have something new on display, because otherwise, it's like, oh, yeah, her table, same old, same old. So I like to have some new things. So the first thing will be, of course, the ball gowns. So I have the purple one, and that will also have a couple other little pieces that will go with it. And then we have the pink one. And so I was really happy with how those turned out. And then I thought, well, the last show I did, I had one of my tall fellas in black performance outfit with flames on it that I was really, really happy with how it turned out. But I didn't put it for sale because the flame fabric that was used, maybe we'll put a picture here, the flame fabric was given to me years and years ago, and it matched the scale perfectly of the doll. And the piece that they gave me it was literally about this much. It was just not even a fat quarter. It was just this little sliver of fabric with flames on it. And I have no idea where it came from. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find anything similar. And so I just couldn't bear to part with the outfit because I know I can't recreate it. So sadly, it was on display at the last show, but it was not for sale. So I thought, okay, this time I have to, be willing to give up a little bit more than that. So I thought for my three fellas, I thought I would do their outfits from their opening set at the Permission to Dance concert in LA and Vegas. Well, I don't know. I'd have to look back. I've seen the concert so many times. I don't remember which concerts actually opened with the red outfits and which ones had the white outfits. But nevertheless, I wanted to do the white outfits. So hopefully I won't get, a check mark. But I'm going to put a picture here of the group. And this is their opening outfit for the concert. So here we go. So this one is all complete. I don't have the same kind of boots in white that they wore, obviously. I can dig around and try to find some, but I've just never actually gotten any boots like that. So right now he just has on a simple white boot with his outfit, but it'll suffice for now. So this is Jimin's outfit. And then I was very tickled because I thought, how am I going to do his hair? Because in the concert for, I think it was LA, he had white extensions in his hair. And so that's what I did. I got some white, and these are faux fur wigs. And so I put the white extensions in his hair to match the look that he had for the concert. And then there's his outfit, which has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces if you count this. So there's the over tunic that has the string here, and then it has like a flap on the back with the string. And then of course, I didn't have the same fabrics and the same scale that I needed, so I kind of used what I had available. Then there is like another tank top underneath that is uniquely shaped because it only connects on the side about this much and then comes down in a scoop, both in the front and the back. Then there's the arm warmer pieces, which are a knit fabric, and they have a little bit of elastic around the fingers to help it stay snug and then help them stay up. And then the pants they have a double pleat in the front with an actual fly and real pockets. And then the back, here we go. And this is hard because the stand is on here. Then the back will have, I don't think it'll even show, but anyway, from side to side, the back part is elasticized in the back, just for more of that kind of a gathered look on the pants in the back. So that's what this outfit is. So it would be the necklace, the tunic, the undershirt, 2 of the armbands, and the pair of pants. So it's 6 pieces. I don't know why they count a pair of armbands as 2 pieces, but usually when people are listing how many pieces, they do that. So each of those. So the boots are not included because those are mine, and the wig is not included. But the white outfit will be there at the doll show, and that will be for sale. And I don't know how much yet, so we'll see. It was a lot of work, a lot of little pieces. And then Cookie's outfit has this strange tank top because, and I say strange because the neckline is very scooped, which it was, and then it has a mesh, and I don't know if that'll even show. What do I have that's dark? Okay, I'll use one of my glasses pieces to illustrate this because white on white is hard to show. So if I bring this up, we'll see if it'll show now when I edit. So it has like a tulle mesh piece that has like a weird sculpted look that overlays on top of the tank top. So that's on here. So that's what this part is that doesn't lay with the rest of the tank top. So that's on the front of the tank top. So that's all one piece, but it's a couple layers. Then there's the pants, which also are double pleated, a real fly, real inset pockets, and then the elasticized waist. Both pair of pants are gathered at the ankle, just because that's how they looked, and so we did that. But then his outfit still needs a jacket. It's kind of in a, I don't even know what style. It's kind of a shorter kind of bomber jacket style, but it has more of like baseball t-shirt shoulders. So it doesn't have like a shoulder line and inset sleeves. It has the sleeve that actually comes up to the neckline. So the sleeve piece looks like this. Instead of being rounded, it has this piece that goes up to the neckline. So I thought, why not go ahead and bring you along if you'd like to see how to put the jacket together. And it's going to have some fun embellishments on it. And the performance piece had around the neckline like a collar, and it had a little bit of a lacy type. So I'm not deciding yet if I'm using an actual lace or if I'm going to use an eyelet. I'm still debating which one, so I have 2 pieces here. We'll see when we get that far. But I do like all the layers because when it's an all white outfit, it adds so much texture to the outfit to have all these different types of textiles involved in the pattern. So we have either a lace or an eyelet, I'm not sure. There's a ribbed, I use a ribbed collar fabric to go around the bottom of the jacket and the collar, and probably the wrists of the jacket will be gathered or will be ribbed as well. So yeah, we'll go ahead and switch up the camera and see about putting this together. Here's the first pieces I'll use on the jacket. We've got the sleeve, the back, 2 pieces for the front, 2 pieces for the front facing, the back facing, and 4 pieces for the pockets. So I am going to be sewing all the pieces together at the shoulder / armhole because it's all one seam from the neck down to the underarm. So the sleeve will be sewn between the back pieces and the front pieces like this. And then on the front and back pieces, the pockets will be sewn with right sides together, kind of in the middle, just under the armhole seam, because the bottom where the hem is, I need to have room for a seam, and then I don't want the pocket to hang down below. So probably oh, maybe 1/2 inch, then the seam would be here, and then I'm going to have ribbing. So 3/4 to an inch, yeah, 1/2 inch would be too short. I'd not be enough room. So 3/4 to an inch from the hemline is where I'm going to put the pocket pieces on both sides of the back and each side of the front. And then I'll do the back facing to the front facings at the shoulders. So I'm going to sew all that together. And then I'm also going to serge all those seams because they will show inside the garment once it's done, because the facing will not cover the entire length of that seam. So all of it needs to be serged. So that's my next step in going forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we are this far. So the front trim has been put on with the ribbed collar, and it goes all the way from the front around the neck and back down the other side, and the front facing is inside. And this will all lay a little bit better after I get the sides and everything done, because I will be top stitching this real close to the eyelet, and then that will help hold all that flat and in place. And then there will also be embellishments that will be sewn all the way up that will also help kind of hold that in place so that the facing isn't flipping forward all the time. So it'll have a nice flat look on the inside, and then it'll look like this on the outside with top stitching and then embellishments. But I don't want to do it yet because I need to put the ribbing onto the bottom edge, and then this will be turned up, and then I will go ahead and sew the facing to the inside. But I don't want to do that until I have the ribbing in place, because if it's top stitched beforehand, then my ribbing won't be able to come all the way to the edge of the fabric. So I need to get the ribbing on the hem-line, then I'll turn the facing in, and then my ribbing will come all the way to the end. So it will look like, let's put this in place here as if it were sewn in. Let's see here. If this is in, and the ribbing is going to go like this. There we go. Then that would be turned up. So we want the ribbing, and it'll stick about like this. So the ribbing edge of the hemline, there we go. I want it to come all the way as far as it can to the edge of that fabric. And if I top stitch it first, then it can only go this far. So I do want it to go all the way in. And so I will be sewing that onto the good side, or like so. It'll be sewn like this to the very edge, and then turned like this, and then the facing will go around it, and then I can top stitch it. So all that to say, I'm not top stitching yet, but I have the sleeves in, all the trim done. I have the elastic on the ends of the sleeves. So my next step is to turn the coat inside out, and I'm going to sew from the cuff of the sleeve here to the underarm. And then when you sew these pockets in, I'm going to have the seam allowance rather for the sleeves and the shoulder to go toward the sleeve, and then I'm going to line up the pockets so they line up with one another. And then when you sew this seam, let's get it so it'll show better. We sew from the cuff down to the armpit, then we're going to sew down and into the pocket for about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to sew down, but then you back tack up. So yeah, I guess it need to be more like 3/8. Here we go. Maybe a 1/2 inch. 3/8. 3/8 would be better. And so I sew down to 3/8, back tack. Then I'll sew around the pocket. I'll come back up and sew in. Here we go. Get my pin doesn't want to pin the fabric very well. There we go. Also in, so it's about 1/4 inch, and then I'll come down to the hemline. There we go. So when we sew the arm, we're coming down here, back tack, come up, go around the pocket to this pin and down, but we're not sewing down the side between the pins, because that will be where the pocket opens from the outside. So we're not going to sew there. So I need to do these two, the two sides, and then I'll put the ribbing around the hem of the jacket. There we go. And that'll go around the hem, and then I'll top stitch, and then it'll have the embellishments, and then this little bomber jacket will be done. Okay, so we've finished the jacket. Here's the finished product. And it's funny how once you get the hardware on something, to me it just makes it so much better. So the silver that you see here are actually, I think they're called steel. I don't know what color they are. I don't have my glasses on. And all of this color information, I think, has come off when I took the actual label off. So, but they're like this. And I love, they're the large, they're not the little tiny seed beads, but they're bigger. And they work wonderful for buttons and embellishments on BJDs because they're a good scale. They transfer over pretty well. So I did take that embellishment all the way up around the back of the neck, and then here's the eyelet part. Almost said lace, but those hair's kind of sticking up there. But and then the ribbed collar here, and then I did find that the ribbing I had, the extra piece, was too big for the hem of the jacket, and so I just created some of my own, because the ribbed piece that I used here, it is actually machine edged at the factory, so it's actually like a color for a shirt, and so the edges and this edge are all machine done, and if you cut them, they'll ravel. So this would fit around the neckline, but the one I had for the hem was too big, and if I would have cut it, then it would have raveled. So I took some of the heavy knit that I had, that I used to make the tank top for Jimin, this same heavy. I only had like a little big piece, and it was exactly long enough. I ended up with this much left, and I thought, you know what, that's going to make a great collar on something, so I'll save that as well. But it's a nice heavy knit fabric, so it worked okay to add that as the ribbing. And all you have to do, if you need to use a knit as a ribbing, is fold it in half lengthways so the ends close, then flip it right side out, and once you've got it right side out, cut it a little bit shorter than the edge that you're going to fit it to, and then stretch to meet that length, and then that will create a really nice ribbed hem or cuff or collar, whatever you want to use. So that's a good way to make your own. If you can't find something that's what you want. And I had several other pieces, but they have color on the edge, and so I couldn't use those. But I do like how it turned out. So it has the baseball type shoulder seam. So if we hold it out here, hold its arm out, the seam goes here and then also here. So there's no over the shoulder seam that goes across there. So it's got kind of more of that baseball style, like a baseball t-shirt, or I don't know what the style would be on the jackets. And then it does have the inset pockets on the side seams, so you can put something in the pocket if you need to. And then the ribbing is serged along the edge. All this is serged so that everything is nice and finished on the inside. And then all this top stitching helps keep the facing to lay nice and flat, and it covers up all those raw edges inside. So yeah, it turned out really nice. It went together pretty quickly, but it just is a lot of handwork in manipulating all the layers when you have this and the ribbing and the front and the facing, and it all needs to match up. So it took a little while to get that done, but I hope you enjoyed it. Just something a little bit new. So his is pretty much done. He does need a new wig. He'll need a black wig, so I'll have to get that done for the show. And then next will be the outfit I'm going to do for V, which I'm not sure how far we'll get to actually filming that one. His will be a little bit more of a challenge. The pants are going to be gray, and they'll have an inset gusset at the bottom to create a bell bottom. But then it's going to be a little tricky because they actually have, instead of a side seam that goes straight down, it curves in and then down, and starting at the top it has a zipper that goes the length of the pants. So I do have separating zippers. I looked for some gray ones. I'll maybe double check, but we'll see. These are pretty heavy duty. I'm not sure if I want to use something this heavy, but we'll see. So yeah, so I've got those pants to do, and then he's got a shirt and a jacket as well. And hopefully I'll get that third outfit done in time for the show next week. But thanks for coming along today as we put together this jacket. Have a great day and happy sewing. Bye.